voices speak as when Bernie died, and as they carried him through the streets, the people spontaneously began to sing the slave song of the Hebrews from Nabucco. All the dead are rising through the olive branches. The elms are weeping on Parade Street, where the sunlight is the color of opera, where my hands are holding my face, watching the television, the streets full of the crowd gathering to give witness to what burned their chests and told them the true name of sorrow. When we weep, we are most alive. I turn off the television and listen to Sasha upstairs. I hear her steps dancing in a Russian pop song staccato. There are arias everywhere, my brother. Can you hear them gathering through the laundromat steam with the clack of cue balls in the pool halls? At the Citgo station when the gas glugs, where one-legged Jethro waits outside on the curb, humming while smoking a cigarette. He blows a halo of smoke casually into the air. It swirls, composes notes, and disappears like a song, a kind of blessed noise, the way music enters us and vanishes. What remains is why we live. All right, that was Sean Dowd. Our first reader is Tim Perry. Tom Perry? Tim? Tim.
Hello everyone, I'm Tim. I'm going to read a couple poems that I wrote tonight. The first one's called Lost Cause. Lots call for the downfall of our lauded leaders, but like bikes with the double-seaters swerving through the downpour of traffic in full confidence, we must continually churn both sets of gears and ever accelerate forward, forfeiting the right to steer to the man before us, and knowing stopping for fear or meagerness will only further delay profits and bring us ever nearer to end of days, say prophets, where kids no longer run into streets after loose dogs and even beamers respect the other road dwellers. Then end of days bring about end of weeks, for those who fall off the tandem bicycle no longer wish to straddle back up on, lost potential, failed peddlers who have no desire in where we're headed or where we've resided, dreamers caught up in wispy clouds where the rain's still vapor and where there's no need for grease gears or buckles or even helmets. There one will find just ice-capped mountaintops below, above a faint blue blanket, no longer thinning, no longer in tatters, no longer stretching, aching to accommodate more under its warmth, just ice and cool blues and bike-shaped clouds. We shake awake the unfortunately and inconsiderably unconscious dreamers beside us, the industrial, for we know those heaters lead us east of Eden's Ispar's treasures, unlike we, the needed eaters, loved by our lauded leaders, who unequivocally end the evil in every broken bone in our broken bodies, knowing, not hoping, knowing, when our life works are done, we will see the sun and look back to hell at our lauded lovers who will certainly still be there, holding our hand, laughing at how small the steps seem as they call, "It's over now, it's over now, it's over." How sweet the sound of sweat go dripping down our ear canals, but still their romantic tunes ring true like the croons of desperate Orpheus. It's over now, it's over now, it's over. For all the work and blood rejoice, so soon we will retire there. It's over now, it's over now, it's over. So stay on the seat, on the bike, on the street, on the ground, on the world. Stay, they plead, stay. Thank you. it's a little lighter. It's called How the Hell Do You Get People to Give a Shit About Poetry When There's TikTok? No thought, no effort, no intention, just a room of computers deciding what series of binary will maximize the doom scroller's neuronic firings. One writer's word on page could never match the collective efforts of millions of posters and many times reposters' regurgitations of recognizable motifs. The internet brought about the individual champions and swiftly assassinated them for the cause of the larger number, replacing K's with M's and M's with D's and soon to be many, many T's. I'd like to say I came to this realization watching in horror as a Whitman collection remained unopened atop a coffee shop counter as its caffeinated owner wasted away. Thank you. Let me pull that up. Let's see here. Okay. This next one, I had a fun time writing. You can't see it really, but it looks like a hole on the page. It's just all a straight line. It doesn't have a title yet. I'm working on that. Falling further down the hole I've dug for myself, far past 5-6 feet, we're reaching the core by sundown. I swore I'd dropped this shovel a week ago, but I can't see the trees anymore. I'm talking to kind worms now. They say it's way better down here. Just stay out their holes and watch out for moles. Keep digging and I find a water well seeping through. Tastes better than the plastic shit up on the surface. Nestle wishes they could talk to worms. The water whispers to me. They warn of what's to come, but softens the dirt knowing I'm digging either way. The loose mud reveals clay, then soon rock and fossils, warning of threats of old. The mud slides and soft amber to avoid the tar pits that swallow you whole. I read the time layers. It smells of sulfur and nucleotides. The above world is just a speck. I think I spotted a second North Star a month or two ago, or maybe they installed a headstone. Right when I think I can only go up, the tough rocks give way for more dirt and soon loose sand. My shovel cuts through the floor below me with ease. I no longer sweat, I swear. I just lift the loose rock as if I were moving through air. The earth heaves to my tools and invites me closer to her center, no longer imposing her mineral walls, rather telling me not to stop until I've had my fill of coal, but my desperate swings on her mantle see no signs of stopping. Even the greatest surface-dwelling geologists have only hypothesized what lies beneath our mantle. They suppose a molten core, a massive ocean of liquefied metals and rocks, generating such magnetic force our mighty sun's flares fail to penetrate and fry us alive. I'm feeling like a swim and some self-discovery. I brought my trunks and I heard the pools warm. No grave, this hole is my greatest vacation. Thank you.
All right, that was great. Thank you. Our next reader is another regular feature at this venue, Sam from Gorham, New Hampshire now. An out-of-stater. Someone from away. Thank you to the Peanut Gallery to follow me here. Shout out. Just going to read some of the greatest hits the novel. This one is The Mind Goes Where It Wants to Go. The graffiti on the wall cusses at everyone nearby, and the smile stain on the sidewalk laughs it off. The cars pay no attention to them, they just drive on by slowly. The lollipop in the stroller loses his mind. The corner stop sign wants to go beyond the city's edge. The fire hydrant wants all the neighborhood dogs dead. The discarded gum cannot remember its brand. Meanwhile, the doorbell is getting annoyed by itself.
The parking ticket told me it didn't want to be paid. The mirror hates to be stared at. The dumpster just wants a hot shower, and a dead bird only wants to be loved. It's called Pedestrian Crossing. I didn't talk to her because "so you cross the street often" was the closest thing to a pickup line I could muster. And my shirt had a yellow stain on it that was mustard. And the springtime grime mush streets we were waiting to walk on just didn't quite set the mood. I was in a rush, and I could tell that she wouldn't have given me the time of day. And speaking of which, the sun was about to set. And so we just stood there, and the street light turned yellow. Just as the sky reached its peak in beauty, so had she. And right when I thought I could say something to her, the light turned red, another man appeared, and we crossed the street.
Our reader really enjoyed
This one's called Efficiency. Ellipses, ellipses, ellipses. Blue is a cloudless sky. Thinking out loud when no one else is around is just thinking. Ballerina, ballerina. Cinema is an illusion of light. One man's future is another man's past. The leaves only die in autumn. It isn't always night on the moon. A cupcakery is a bakery that specializes in baby cakes. Danger is just anger with a D. Over and over is something that continues forever. I know some random things. I know a little Spanish. Siempre means always. Te amo means I love you. Lo siento means I'm sorry. This one's called Reasons. I left 10 pages blank in the back of my book. And yeah, I tried to do that. So. Reasons I left 10 pages blank in the back of my book. You might be wondering why I left 10 pages blank in the back of my book. It's just a bulleted list. So my book would appear lengthy. So there would be lots of space available for my signature. So you would value the pages with poems on them more. So my book would burn longer. Because people take books too seriously. It was the only way to get you to take this poem literally. To symbolize innocence, purity, God, possibility, chance, and emptiness. To give all the haters a few more fulfilling tears. To give all the hippies some emergency rolling papers. To give you a chance to practice origami. Because I could. I felt the printers could use a break. To build trust. I knew it had to be an even number. My poetry is odd enough. Because 8 is too few, a dozen is too cliche, 14 is too many. I've always wondered what an empty book would look like, and though it may only be 10, I'm confident that you can imagine the rest. I believe that everyone has something to add. My journal is your journal.
All right, thank you. That was great. What I like about his poetry is there's so much imagination, and there's a lot of art that doesn't really engage the imagination anymore. So I really appreciate the imagination, play, philosophy, wonderful stuff. Okay, our next reader is another regular, Alexander from Lewiston, and he teaches 6th grade, right?
Yes, I do.
6th grade teacher, so show him a lot of love.
Yeah, I usually write a lot more. I feel like I kind of base these around like how much writing I can get done usually within the 4 or 5 weeks, and I got a lot less done this month. It's been harder to like get started this month. I don't know if anyone else felt this way, but like just trying to start. So I'll start light. I really appreciate those last poems. They were like so. First one's my very own Viking girlfriend. She's the one for me. Puts a drinking horn to my mouth as I sit on her knee. We drink ancient mead from walnut barrels, turn off the radio, and sing Icelandic carols. She only wears furs from creatures she slayed. When I go to work, she's off to raid. Tuesdays we stab criminals for Tyr. Wednesdays we carve runes for Odin. Thursdays we smash giants for Thor. And Fridays we fuck for Freya. Every day she wakes me with apocryphal images of Ragnarok. That's my blonde berserker. She knows just what she wants. This one's called Crows Freak Me Out. Then one day I went outside and the crows were surrounding the school. They said things like, "Beware," and "Look at you." Hundreds of them peered down from the roof, while others stood guard on the surrounding treetops. I dashed for the parking lot as they swirled above. But what use was it to run? They surrounded my car in the parking lot. I could kill a few, but I know they win. Death by 1,000 beaks. Heard that they pull out tongues, eyes, cheeks. The sadness we carry would pale in comparison to a strange death by corvid carrion. We think we have control in our life, but it can be plucked out by black crows before Halloween night. This one's from last night. This is called A Real Miracle. For some reason last night, I was led into the basilica to touch the glass. The glass held a fragment of bone from the Apostle St. Jude. I never go anywhere on a cold, dark Wednesday after being left alone at work picking up stale chips children left under the desk. I never walk up the windy road to those giant green doors and open myself up to the Catholic world. Somebody old with a cross said, "Thanks for coming," and I told him for some reason I didn't have a choice. I learned how they clubbed the saint to death for preaching the word of Christ, and the man he was with was sawed in half. All along the walls were frescoes of bloody Jesus in the arms of women. It all made me think of death. I was led to the relic, that small piece of bone, and told not to kneel before it. "We do not worship it," the old lady told me from behind the mask. I touched the glass and felt something. Had no knowledge of the movements that Catholics require. I then sat alone and wondered why I was brought there. I wept thinking of dying children in hospital beds and the thought of being sawed in half. I understand nothing that is happening to me. I don't know how to tell this. Well, now that we've moved on, everybody is comfortable being angry again, honking their horns. It's easier than sitting by to the side of the road and never working again, I suppose. She said anger was a secondary emotion, always covering fear or dread. We act like we can control anger, like I can try to hold a pen. It's really a lasso made of fire meant to burn man instead of looking in the mirror. And what really lies behind those glass eyes but a tiny human surrounded by sirens?
Okay, Alex, thank you. Yeah, that last poem, wow, awesome. Our next reader is Mike, and I think Mike read here a couple of months ago, correct? Yes?
Yep.
Yeah, come on up, Mike.
That wasn't sixth reader. Wow, it's been such a good night. Now I'm going to bring you all down. Try to get this microphone down. So I'll read a few from Richard Fox. He's a phenomenal person, great poet in the New England area. Sadly passed away last month. So do a few by him. In the fog, for Darlene.
The next chair is open. My nurse seats you.
another body in a Johnny. Plugs IV pump to pick line, utters your name. My cotton ball brain stirs. You are my cousin, now infusion room crony. We talk shop. You have 2 ports, I 1. My tumor oral, yours ovarian. We do not say no babies. 2 surgeries for you, radiation for me. I can't swallow. You vomit what you eat. Music gives you migraines. Reading is Mobius for me. Our view is Boston skyline. Toes heated by sunshine, body draped in hot blankies. Almost makes being here worth the pain. Nurse brings our next round, petite cups of pills. You chug yours, I force mine down one by one. We compare med colors, contrast bowel movements. You laugh, I hiccup. Not your regular hiccups, industrial strength. We are quiet, my breath held. Body spasms, you shiver and grimace. Nurse wraps you in new blankies. Changes pouches on the pole. She wears gloves, apron, chemo burned skin. Warning, it chugs along our veins. I call it my battle buddy. 5.5 liters of fluids, plus a diuretic. I grab you a sandwich, lemonade, Toll House cookies. For me, a bottle of water, vanilla pudding cup. We trek to the bathrooms, rolling our twin pumps, sipping as bee stings. But I can pee chemicals into porcelain bubbles, flush both systems. At your memorial, I learned I was a comfort to you. You were to me too. We can't exchange that memo. Yeah, Richard valiantly fought cancer for 14 years. He had such a sense of humor with his entire time. Between the devil and the deep blue sea, Loose sighs at his naked novices, dripping sea of salt. New souls to tutor and torture. Each issued a pitchfork, forged their palms, they will eat with it. Shovel crimson embers with it. Wipe their rear with it. Loose dreams, he's on the deep blue. Sea sways in a wicker basket. Names each outline of stars for a lover or hunting buddy. Drifts against the current of the diligent river. A young woman plucks him out with wadding to be her pet. But Loose will not eat red coal. His punishment, dwell amid it, skin turning ashen. Tissue blind to touch. Water is not forbidden, it evaporates in his stride. Last he crossed the Red Sea, Moses and minions followed. Loose lusts for dead senses. It's training day every day. Drilling novices to be numb while jabbing, sizzling, filleting. The raw recruits who recoil their pitchforks dissolve. The devil desires that deal. Time Book. The name of the book. Loiters, saliva surfing, until the day it gnaws DNA's apple. Shoots craps with other cells. Snake eyes signify malignancy. All those years of salivation, I crawl a maze of fears. Airplane crashes, ice propels car off bridge, anesthesia stops heart, killer lurks in dark alley, motorcycle lane splits, red meat bungs veins, fear drowns discipline. After the explosion, petty fears are annulled. Tomorrow's will follow, or not. I have this day to keep. Totter slower than toddler, too swollen to swallow tongue. Words lost as soon as read. Convulsions racking limbs. Sunshine heating my comforter. Dog curling under my arm. Son's voice soothing my confusion. Whispering life wipes my face. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for sharing those poems. And we always do encourage you, if you don't want to read your own work, read some other poets' work. We greatly encourage that. And what was that poet's last name again? Fox?
Richard Fox.
Richard Fox. Okay, awesome. We're going to have to look him up.
Yeah,
Okay,
we got a website, Small Poet at Large.
Okay, and was he a Massachusetts poet?
Yeah, he was all over New England, but spend most of his life in the Worcester area.
Okay,
I don't
okay,
know if his website is still functional now that he's moved
Yeah.
on, but
okay.
his stuff is around, it's all stuff. So.
Awesome, cool, thank you. Our next reader is another regular, Rose from Oxford.
I wrote the moon. The moon. I didn't write Oxford, I wrote from the moon.
Oh, you did? Well, you scribbled it.
Yeah. It was bad.
Yeah, that last poem was really.
Yeah, I wrote down that.
Yeah. It's a regular practice.
Set up.
Nope, you can't. Sorry. This is called Changing Scenery. Ain't she pretty with a change in scenery? And the sky is blue
Yeah, our last reader is Drexel, and you want the same setup?
The iPad chair and the,
So, I have two things. So I usually read stuff that's, I wrote in a diary 20 years ago and then have recently re-edited it for the last 3 weeks or something like that. And I realized coming up, no, I'm gonna do this seriously. Okay.
I just want to say that I wrote that.
Oh, yeah. And I realized, it's like, oh my God, I'm going over to Lewiston where this crazy, horrible event happened, and I should write something about that. And so I did. And like I say, this is pretty raw. I haven't had a chance to edit it or anything, so I'm kind of, this is a different place for me. Because usually I practice saying it so I won't like cry or laugh or crack or say it wrong or something. Not how we die, but how we live is what matters. Shocking to be reminded that now and here is not always safe. That the only real safety is living so that we have no regrets. That death will come for us, ready or not. That it could be violent, unexpected, senseless. But really, when does dying make sense? I mean, perhaps to one desperate, alone, in pain, it offers escape. But to those left behind, to live without what could have been, what could have been. Like a dam breaking, all our hopes spilling onto the lowlands, racing away in all directions. Gone now, gone now. This is our task. This morning, to wake up. This night, to sleep. To remember and cry. To remember and laugh. It's up to us. It's up to us to live and pass on their love of nature, their quiet strength, their innocence, their generosity. It is up to live. It is up to us to live as if life matters.
Thank you, Drexel. That was a great poem to end tonight's reading on. Thank you all for showing up. This was a pretty short reading, but next month I think we'll get a few more readers back into this loop. So hope to see you next week, next month.
Do we still have time?
Oh yeah, do you have something left?
Yeah, I just needed to change.
Oh, okay.
Different. So,
Okay, yeah, you got time.
So do we have any people that identify themselves as singers?
background singer.
Because singing is not required. This is like campfire stuff.
Then yes.
All right. So this is a seasonal song that I only get to do at this season. Right? Makes sense. So this is the changing from fall to winter. And so there's going to be some, so in the chorus, I'll sing the verses entirely myself. You don't have to do anything with that. But I would really appreciate some help on parts of the chorus. So like, I'll sing some words and then there'll be a part for you. And then I'll sing some words and there'll be a part for you. Okay? So here's your parts. Warming fire, try that.
Warming fire.
And I'll say, round which we gather, and then food we share,
food we share.
An open heart that inspires. It's a circle of love, circle of love. Try that.
Circle of love. Circle of love.
That shines.
That shines through the season, and here's the part that you do it. And I'm going to say, and I feel it best on a cold, dark night. So try that.
Feel it best on a
Cold,
cold, dark
dark
night.
night. Hold it a little bit. Around the warming fire. And you'll repeat that. Around the warming fire.
That's like
Okay.
a front lift. That's a
So,
lot of lyrics.
you're going to get chances to do that again, so here it goes. I'll just launch into it. Actually, we'll do the chorus again one more time. I'm going to help you remember the words by using IISL to communicate with you. So that's independently imagined sign language. It's used world round by children and camp counselors everywhere. So here it goes. It's a warming fire round which we gather. It's the food we share. An open heart that inspires. It's a circle of love that shines through the season, and I feel it best on a cold, dark night. Around the warming fire, around the warming fire. You guys have got it down. Okay, here come the verses.
Winter.
Winter is coming, I know that it's true. The days are growing shorter, the nights longer to get through. The firewood is split and stacked, we stowed our kayak in the winter is coming, but it's the warming fire round which we gather. It's the food we share, an open heart that inspires. It's a circle of love that shines through the season, and I feel it best on a cold, dark night. My voice is going. Around the warming fire, around the warming fire. We will walk on water, slide down white hills, build caverns and castles of cloud white coal. We could lose some toe, the tip of a nose or an ear. It's magical and frightening. Winter is here, but it's a warming fire. Round which we gather, it's the food we share. An open heart that inspires. It's a circle of love that shines through the season, and I feel it best on a cold, dark night. Around the warming fire, around the warming fire. We'll make it through winter, we'll warm up the hall, tell each other stories, sing all the songs we can recall. If we all band together, if we stand ear by ear, we can make it through winter once again this year, 'cause it's the warming fire round which we gather. It's the food we share, an open heart that inspires. It's a circle of love that shines through the season, and I feel it best on a cold, dark night. Around the warming
Wonderful closing song. Always appreciated. All right, this is it for this month. We'll see you again next month, third Thursday. And again, bring a friend. If you don't want to read your own poetry, bring another poet's work in to share. Or just come here and have a beer or two, a pizza, and enjoy the conversation and cross-pollinate with poets. Cross-pollinate with poets. All right, we'll see you next month.